I was raised in Indiana, and I was raised in a very God-centered home. And I think probably my first experience with prayer would be my father had a lot of health problems. And he had 57 surgeries in my lifetime. And being able to be with him in the hospital and being there as a family, that's probably my first recollection of prayer. Praying that God would intercede as an omnipotent Father on my father's behalf. And that would have been my initial young viewpoint of prayer, as God being a father figure. And I remember being very young and probably 6, maybe 5, and we had a really pretty backyard, and going and laying in the grass and laying on my abdomen and feeling the breeze waft across my back, and thinking of it as if it were God's hand wafting across my back and gently, caressing my back. And so when I was younger, my view of God was very much as this father figure. And then as I continued my Jewish journey and I continued my own personal faith journey, it became much more to me than just an omnipotent father. And now my viewpoint does not have a sexual orientation. It is God as God, and not any type of human form or human features. It's this omnipotent being that I have the honor and privilege to be able to communicate with. And I find that it's in moments of simplicity at times, and moments of trauma and moments of joy that I find I'm able to communicate with God on a very intimate level. One of my favorite parts of the service within the Jewish service, and I have the privilege of being what's called the Shaliach Tzibor, which is the voice of the people, which is the person who is delegated to speak on behalf of the congregation to God during a Jewish prayer service. I find that one of my personal favorite moments is not necessarily when I'm using my voice, but the moments of silence. Those moments of blankness on the page in between the prayers. And we always have a section within the service that is the silent prayer. I can take a moment within the service to have my own personal conversation with God, and at the same time have the very, very distinct honor and privilege of what I call singing out of their silent prayer. And I find that moment where I can bring people back to reality to be a very sacred moment.